This not just girl talk.
It's talk for the people.
You got two women,
Two voices,
one sound.
and that's the truth.
You here with the married Dawn,
And the selective Dawn.
and we here to call a spade a motherfucking spade. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get to it. All right, we back. Shit, I don't know what episode this is.
Doesn't matter. We're back.
Okay, we back. Let's get to it. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, how was your week?
My week was trying.
Trying.
Yes.
How did you get through it?
My good friends.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. It's been a long couple weeks.
Okay. Do you need a break from life?
I think so.
Is it this newfound fame since we on Roku?
Check you out with the plug. Go ahead telling people where we at.
Yeah, so you know now you can find us on Apple Podcasts, uncensorednetwork.com, Roku TV, Spotify, SoundCloud. Just Google us.
Because we going to pop up.
Everywhere.
Yeah, but no, it's not the fame. You know how sometimes life will give you a test and you just know you're going to pass it, but then it's like, damn, I'm failing every blow. And you got to pick yourself back up.
I don't think you ever fail unless you
No.
give into it.
Sometimes you have to fail to see the bigger picture. You got to see that, you know what, I can't fix this one.
Okay.
And I can't fix it by myself.
So because you can't fix it, that means you failed?
You might feel like a failure, especially if you are used to doing things by yourself. If you're used to being the go-to person or the fixer, like I told you this before, I'm really good at fixing problems, but I can't necessarily always walk you through how I fixed it. I just know I did it.
Okay.
This was one of those times where it was like, I can't fix this one. I can't fix this problem. You know what, life? Me and you, we not on the same page right now. Let's reel this back in. Let me start over. Let me get a little help. And then let me see what I can do.
But I'm trying to figure out what makes you a failure.
It doesn't
because
necessarily
you can't fix it?
No, it doesn't necessarily make me a failure. It
Okay.
just feels like, damn, I'm not passing this one the way I thought I would.
Okay, but you passing. You will admit you passed the test.
I'm coaxing through the test right now.
So it's not over.
No, it's definitely not over.
Well,
I got a
nothing-
long road ahead of me.
Nothing will ever be over. I mean, as long as we keep living. But I wouldn't say that you failed at anything. I just think that, well, this is just me personally speaking on you, that you finally opened up and maybe let somebody in to help you as to where you do always feel like you got to handle things on your own. That's a good thing.
Yeah, so, you know. Thanks, friend.
You're welcome, friend.
How was your week?
Oh shit. Let's see. I can't complain. I think this week I've been catching up on my Breakfast Club. So I was watching so it's not Sebi, it's Sebi, something like that. So anyway, his real last name is Bowman. But anyway, I was watching an interview with his kids and his grandson on the Breakfast Club. I think I'm about to change my eating habits.
Well, you know what's unfortunate about that? That people are just now really catching on to who and what he is, like his, his holistic practice and better eating. But, you know, you and I talked about this a few years ago, how you can't find good produce in our areas. It's expired, but we shop there out of convenience. So do you follow him on Instagram, his Instagram page?
No, I don't think so.
You should.
I'm gonna definitely follow his grandson and his son and his daughter, and I want to get into like sea moss and shit like that. No, seriously, I'm gonna get into it. And I'm gonna cut out. I don't know, but I'm gonna cut out something. Well, I think I'm gonna cut out a lot of the fast food, the curry out. I'm good. I'm America's Best Wings, like best rep. But I think I'm about to chill
That
on
don't
that
fuck
shit.
your stomach up.
Fuck no. Nigga, I had them lemon pepper wings last night. Oh, baby.
You okay?
Yes.
Okay.
But I told you I'm their biggest rep. But, yeah.
They're so greasy.
You think so?
Yes.
I don't have that issue. I don't know.
Well, get rid of it.
I am. Well, I don't know. It is funny because she was like, fried chicken is a black woman's best friend. And I was like, I do love some fried fucking chicken. I do. Like, I was like, shit, like, she might be right. But then they was talking about like GMOs and shit, and I never paid attention to a lot of that stuff. And then what she said was she was like she was like women, well, they was like their father got his name from women because he believed women were healers of the earth. And I was like, that shit makes so much sense. She was like, just think about it. Who's feeding your kids? Who's taking care of your parents? The more nurses and things like that are women. So I was like, oh, shit. You know, I'm giving my kids this fucking poison because I'm good for running to McDonald's. And I know that's some garbage. But
I mean, look at when you find a French fry in your car from a year ago. It's still in the same state.
You right. Not green or nothing.
That
right.
should tell you right there you shouldn't eat that shit.
Yeah, you right.
But it's good after the club and you've been drinking.
Hey, I was just thinking them. Yeah. So I don't know. I want to make some changes, but we'll see. We'll see. And then they had I didn't think I was gonna be interested, but T-Pain was on there, and he was talking about how he literally was broke to where he had to ask people for money to buy his kids Burger King. And so Charlamagne was like, well, what's the most you ever had in your bank account? And he was like, nigga, I went from $40 million to begging for Burger King money.
$40 million?
Yes.
What happened?
I don't know. He was talking about how he made some bad investments. He let his manager do some investment deals for him, and they didn't work out. And how he blew a lot of money. Like, he talked about how he paid for a Bugatti cash, but he got rid of it in like a week or two. So he said he tore the car up, like he blew a hole in the radiator or some shit like that. But yeah, he talked about how he blew a lot of money. And then he was talking about how he got a $6 million house in Atlanta. And DJ Envy was like, in Atlanta? He was like, your house must be huge. And he was like, it is. But who needs all that fucking space? And you begging for money for Burger King.
When you're not used to having anything.
I
think that's a prime example of how money can definitely change you. $40 million to begging for Burger King. If that's not some humbling shit.
Yeah. So I just been paying attention a lot this week. I've seen a lot of, and it's funny because I've seen a lot of racism this week. And just like with me just like paying attention, I've seen like some little slick shit. So I was just
like what?
Like we went to the mall and you know how they have those kiosks in the middle of the mall. So we were like walking down and I seen like this white guy running behind white customers to try whatever he had or whatever. But every time a black person would walk by, he would like turn his back to him. And I was like, oh, wow.
Did that make you want to go say something to him? Or did that make you want to try his product?
No.
Did it turn you off?
It just made me pay attention because I was just thinking, like, would I have noticed this before?
What made you notice it then?
I don't know. I don't know. I think since people have called me a racist lately. No, seriously.
Why?
Because I want to see how I'm interacting with people. Like, what would make people think that?
Well, some of the things you've said can imply that you are racist.
I'm not a racist. Don't say that.
I said some of the things that you have said would imply that you are racist or that you have some racist tendencies. Like, fuck them people. I don't care about them. Nah, fuck them. But then on the flip side, we can't say, or you can't say, well, we kind of need them for our check. It's either we fuck them or we need them for our check.
I'm going to say I'm in a position right now where I need them for my check.
So it can't be fuck them.
In the back of my head, it's a fuck them.
Well, don't say it in the front of the mic.
You're right. But
because that is what will let the audience feel like they can call you a racist. No, seriously, you laughing, but I'm
no,
serious.
you're right. You dead ass. You dead ass. That's just like how we said last season. A lot of people took things that I said literally on the show and they would like apply it to my relationship.
That had to be rough sometimes. Like, you just always are under the scope. Like, damn, y'all, this what y'all doing in our relationship? No, we are minding our business in our relationship. That's what we doing.
Yeah. Well, I guess I do got to be more careful, especially since now we on Roku TV.
Look at that. You telling people to Google it. You don't want them to Google them statements. Fuck them.
I don't give a fuck.
No,
I said what I said.
Okay, but don't keep saying it.
But that doesn't, like, I think people are reading into it, but I mean, it is what it is.
Okay. Well, speaking of racism, when I was well, this goes hand in hand with racism and growth. When I was 19, I worked for a major shoe company as a assistant manager, and I made great money. I was, like I said, I was the assistant manager, and my manager was a young Caucasian female who dated black men. So she felt like it was okay to refer to her man and me and other African American staff as niggas. But not nigger. That was her caveat. Not nigger, but nigga. Like, these my niggas. I'm not your nigger or your nigga. Like, I'm not none of the above, right? So one day she got real comfortable. And she asked me to do something, and I declined. I said, oh, no, I'm not going to do that right now. So she was like, fuck you, nigga. You ain't shit. Caught you off guard, didn't it?
Yes.
And she threw a shoe at me, right?
You a lie.
No, I swear. So I waited until the customer left. And, you know, when you work in the mall, you have the gate that you can drop.
Yeah.
The security gate. So I dropped the security gate just enough so that nobody could get in and nobody could get out. And when I tell you, I commenced to whooping her ass. But I called the district manager first, and I was like, hey, so-and-so just called me a nigga. It made me uncomfortable. What do I do? You know, the district manager was a Caucasian female, and she said, excuse me, I don't think she meant any harm. So to me, that was my green light to do what I wanted to do, right? I ran into that young lady about 2 weeks ago. She came into my part-time. And without going into great detail, she still has a scar that I left her with, right? But I noticed she was with a little boy. So I said, oh, is this your son? And she said, yeah, that's my little son. And I said, damn. I said, well, let me talk to you for a second. I said, how would you feel if the world called him a nigga? And she was like, why would you say that?
Was he mixed?
Oh, definitely. And she was like, why would you say that? And I said, you don't even know who I am, do you? And she was like, no. I said, how you get that scar on your face? And she was like, I said, don't worry. I'm not going to do nothing to you. I said, but I want this to be a lesson to you. You never know whose path you're going to cross again. I said, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want anybody calling your son a nigga. She was like, you know what? No. And I just want to apologize. She was like, I went a long time thinking that you were wrong for what you did to me, but I was wrong for what I did to you.
You thought it was genuine?
It didn't have to be. My apology to her was genuine because I definitely left her with a scar, and that wasn't my intent.
You mean when you apologized to her when you saw her?
Oh, yeah. I was like, you know what? I apologize for that. But I don't apologize for why I did it. I just apologize for you having that scar. So, yeah. But seeing her for a hot second, when I heard her voice, I was like, oh, this takes me back to when I was 19. And I probably should finish this bitch. But I didn't. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, let's get into the show.
Okay, go ahead. Caught you off guard with that one, didn't I?
It did. So, it's a lot of shit going on in social media world. And so, I haven't seen the video, but I think you said it was a video of, like, Alexis Sky entering the cucumber in her or sucking it?
Well, both. And then she put it into someone else.
That's gross. And I saw a video where this girl, I think she did the same thing. But I don't know. Maybe we talking about the same video, but I couldn't tell who the face was. But I was disgusted. And I was just like, you know, they have to live with that. And these are going to be the same people that if somebody call them out, they're going to be like, oh, I'm not a hoe, or I'm not this or that. Or, you know, they want some type of respect. And so what is your level of self-respect? Like, how would you define self-respect?
It's the manner in which I hold myself accountable, right? Like, I want you to treat me the way you see me treat myself. But I also want you to understand that I might make some questionable decisions, but that doesn't give you the right to judge me for them.
So we shouldn't judge these young ladies for how they are acting on video?
No.
No? Okay.
Judge them? No. Maybe hold them accountable? Yes.
How would we hold them accountable?
I mean, you can have a conversation with, okay, well, you know, what's up with you? Why were you doing that? Because you also are the same one who was begging on Love and Hip Hop for Medicaid.
Your grandmother in this one-bedroom apartment taking care of your baby.
It's about big as this green room.
And you got time to do that? And her baby was sick
It's
for
sick.
a long time.
It's sick. Her baby has a lot of pre-existing health conditions. But she could also flip it as, well, I was doing it for money. It was promo. It's a few things.
I mean, but she has a daughter, so what do you think that would do to or for her daughter?
Absolutely nothing other than seeing your mother on TV or on video sucking a cucumber.
But what if her mother says, "Oh, this was for you," or "I did this for money"? The same way.
No, Ma, you didn't suck no cucumber or insert a cucumber into yourself or another young lady for me. So I don't want to hear that.
Well, that's like how Mimi said she did the video for a little financial security.
What?
Remember when she did the little shower video?
Mm-hmm.
They went into that for money. And I'm almost positive I heard her say she did that for a little financial security for her and what's the baby name? Eva.
What? Mm-hmm. I didn't hear that.
I'm sure I heard something like that. Yeah. So I mean, what do you think about that? And then she wants like her. I think she has a home linen line or home.
A what?
Home linen home linen for bedding.
Okay.
It's not called home linen.
That's the section in the store. Okay.
She got all of that, pillows and shit, decor.
Look, I want you to stop.
You're right. I shouldn't
stop calling
say shit,
people's
but decor
work shit.
Decor, because it's really pretty.
Okay.
But would you take somebody like that serious?
Probably so, only because I can distinguish the two.
Mm-hmm.
So I am who I am in the light, right? Mm-hmm. But when I go to my 9 to 5, I know my shit about what I do. Mm-hmm. So you can't judge me because I said, you know what I'm saying? You can't judge me for that. What I do for work separates what I do in my personal life. But I have to also be mindful that the two might clash for other individuals who can't separate. I'm okay with that.
So you're okay with. So you want people to fuck
hit it. What she need on there? Reverse. So differentiate.
Yes. I don't know what's going on in my mouth. No, come on, man, be serious. But you want people to differentiate.
Come on, syllable breakdown. That was so hard for you just now.
Your personal image versus what you put out online or
I would want them
social media.
I would want them to be able to, but I would totally understand if they are unable to.
Why would you understand that, though?
Because everybody doesn't know how to compartmentalize. Like, everybody doesn't know that, okay, who LaToya is at work is not who she is outside of work. You know, we talked about this.
We did. And you tried to get on me for having a 9 to 5 persona and then living a whole...
Because your 9 to 5 persona is like totally different.
That I have to do what I have to do for work.
But you can't be letting them tell you like, oh yeah, you the black girl with the attitude, so you can go in there and do it. So, that's a case where that's not acceptable.
But I was young.
Nigga, you was just 34 when you said that.
When I said it, but when I had that job, I wasn't in my 30s.
What were you in?
In my 20s.
Okay, so with age comes experience.
And wisdom.
Okay.
I mean, I felt some type of way when he said it. I just didn't know how to respond right there on the spot. Because I feel like if you wait a lot of times to respond, it's a little different than doing it right then and there. Like right then, when he said it right then and there, the first thing that came across my mind was I have to protect my check. So I'm going to let this ride.
But you know there's a way to protect your check. It's called HR.
Well,
it's called EEOC.
But I have always kind of been trained to be like the yes man, the yes boss type employee.
Really?
I've always been told that that's safe. You want your job, you got to do what you got to do. So I've always been that employee to just never go to HR, never complain because I want my job.
And those same white people complain about you.
Yeah, and
so how does that wager with your self-respect?
I mean, it. When I was younger, I just kind of felt like, well, that's the 9 to 5 Toya. If it was something different. I mean, if it was after hours, I could carry myself a little different. So it didn't do anything to my own personal level of self-respect, but it probably did something to the respect that they had for me. But at that time, I was just like, I'm here for a check. I'm not really here for the respect, whereas now I think a lot different.
I'm here for the check, but not the respect. We're going to touch on that. That's that being bought, that dollar.
Definitely. I mean, I can admit, way back when, it might be a price tag on me now, but it's a little higher.
Why? Because we on Roku, bitch.
So I think that's funny that you say that people should be able to
hit it. Differentiate, my friend.
Let me find another word.
Separate.
Yes, much better. That, because I know somebody that is very rarely on social media, right? Mm-hmm. And so you know how they have those, and to me they're dumb, but to other people they may enjoy it. But they have those little like Facebook
Talk to me.
Facebook or Instagram posts where they be like, if you a strong woman and you know 10 other women,
and send it to them. I hate that shit.
Take this picture and tag them.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that shit too. So anyway, I know somebody that participated in one of those, right?
And they always saying, "Don't let me down." You let yourself down doing this shit.
Or only my real friends will post this, and nigga, I got other things to do. So anyway, I know somebody that posted that, and people started questioning her, like, "Oh, are you okay?" You know, X, Y, and Z, and it was like, it's a fucking post. Like, you have to be able to separate who people are.
I thought she was going to do it
on social media versus who they are in real life. Like, I think people get so caught up in the entertainment part of social media and try to make that their reality, but it's not real. So I think that has a lot to do with people's self-respect. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Oh, so yeah.
They wager their self-respect based on how others view them. So I saw a
not
post.
The people, but like not the person that does it, but the people that see. Yeah, okay.
I saw a post. I mean, it was funny, but it's actually very true. It says, social media will have you thinking everybody has their shit together except you.
Yeah. That's really true. That I think that's really true. And that's when I knew I had to take a step back from social media before, because it was like I was getting so caught up in what people were posting. And I'm like, but I know these people. But on here it looks so good. And on here you got the 1,000 likes and they like, hoorah. But it's like, I know you. And I know you really not about this life. And I couldn't separate the two. So I had to step back from social media to kind of like get into myself and really start to focus on what was real.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you still follow those people?
Yeah. Well, yeah, some of them. Mm-hmm.
Why?
Entertainment.
So now it's funny to you.
It is. Yes, it is. I gotta tell you about somebody. Yeah, it is. It's real entertaining.
Don't tell me. Tell the listeners. We listening?
No, because they might know who they are.
They probably don't watch the show.
They probably don't.
Because our Lord show.
That's on TV.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fair.
So, do you think that your surroundings and people you know have any impact on the moves you have made or your self-confidence? Like, what role does your surroundings play on you, on the influence of you?
Well, my circle of friends has changed drastically. Mm-hmm. And I remember a gym.
Hold on. So you mean the people have changed or they have changed, like grown up?
Both.
Okay.
I've been able to, I don't want to say rekindle, but I've been able to reconnect with my oldest friend.
Okay, that's
like
a good
my
thing.
Oldest friend.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like we went through the ugly stages of life together. Mm-hmm. You know, when your parents have that snag-a-tooth picture posted. Mm-hmm. We went through that stage of life together, right? Mm-hmm. And we fell off for about 10 years.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. Mm-hmm. But when we picked back up, it was like we never stopped talking. Mm-hmm. And there were times in my life, as well as their life, where I know if they were a part of it, it probably would have went differently.
Okay. Better or worse?
Probably better, some worse, because they were always with the shits.
Okay.
You know, we've done things together that we're going to take to the grave. Mm-hmm. But as a whole, I think that when I got into this podcasting and when I did it with you, it was like, why you doing it with her? Mm-hmm. Why you not doing it with her? Mm-hmm. What y'all plan to do with this? Mm-hmm. We plan to capitalize on it. Like, nigga, we going this time last year we were at Amber's house. Shout out to Amber for the cookouts. And we talked about like, hey, niggas gonna start paying for these lasts. You're paying for it with the Roku. You understand what I'm saying? So like we talked about moving into this position of we about to capitalize on a whole bunch of shit that we have just kept between us. And with that came me isolating certain people and saying that, yeah, why don't you checked out the show? Oh, I don't got time. No problem. I had to separate that. I had to be okay with saying, you know what? They're my friend from a distance. It's okay. So it just really showed me that as much of a friend as you may be, you might not be the friend I want around for this journey. And I'm okay with leaving you behind.
But they're still a friend.
They may be a friend to me, but I'm not necessarily a friend to them. Like, I'm okay with forward motion. I'm okay with saying, I see you from afar. Ain't no love lost. I see you not fucking with me the way I was fucking with you. That's okay.
How does that make you feel?
I don't feel nothing.
Okay.
I don't feel anything.
Okay. So do you believe in that whole no new friends?
No, I don't.
Did you ever?
At one time I believed that stupid shit. But I mean, your new friends can provide you with a better source of security than your old friends. So, you know.
That's good that you were able to rekindle your friendship, move on. And that's cool. That's good. All right, so.
Oh, no, nigga, you answering that question, too.
What? Do I have to?
You do.
I don't want to.
But you're going to.
I think that as much as I want to bring people that are around me on, it's hurtful to me that everybody is just not as focused.
It's focused on what you're doing, or just focused on
growth. The stagnant people, like I have some really close people that are in my life that are stagnant. Like they don't want more than what they have, or if they do, they just talk about it and they don't move. And it's irritating to me.
Maybe they don't know how to move. Have you ever thought about that? They don't know. Maybe they don't know the proper steps to get started. We didn't know the proper steps to get started.
But we did something. Like if you're serious about something, you're going to make some type of move. It may not be the right move, but you got to figure it out.
But what if it's the right move for them, but it's not the right move for you? So let's say this person is making smaller moves, and you don't see them. And you still feel like, oh, they're being stagnant, but they pop out with this. No, well, I've been doing this, and I've done this event, and I've provided something for this event. And it's like, damn, you really weren't being stagnant. I just couldn't see your moves. So I felt like you weren't doing anything.
Well, and I think that's the reason that I've been slow to cutting them off or moving forward, because they may be working on something that I don't know about, but it's like when it do pop off, I want to be there to cheer them on.
Do you feel like you are entitled to know about your friends or close family members, their movements?
I think it depends on the relationship. I think that my close set of friends, I pretty much tell them what's going on because I want the input. It doesn't necessarily have to be the support, but I do want to know what people think, because you learn a lot about what people think. Like if I want to do an event for the community, I'm not going to plan it by myself. I'm going to tell other people to get their input, or, to see what they got to say. So I think certain things will be best if you shared with your friends. But if not, I mean, to me, I look at it as, well, maybe they don't trust me.
Or maybe, and we talked about this with AP, we can't do the same thing. So I'm not going to support you doing what I'm trying to do.
But friends don't compete.
Listen, you heard about them silent haters.
Yeah, but I mean...
And that's your friend.
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know how to move now with certain people I call friends. Because it's just like, I don't know. Anything that any of my friends are going to do, I'm going to support. Even if it's not something that I would do per se. If they believe in it and that's what they really want to do, I'm going to push it. Like, say one of my friends, if they were a chef and the shit was nasty, it was the Kraft mac and cheese, I'm still going to try it, and I'm still going to support you.
Y'all heard that? So we going to see the nasty chef today.
So, if we go see this person, they going to know that they are a nasty chef.
You said, I'm supporting.
I would. And I said that last show. I said, even if the macaroni and cheese is runny or too salty, I am going to eventually support. I am. But,
Well, today's eventually.
So anyway, yeah, so I'm like in a space where I don't even know how to move with old friends that we've grown up with, because they are okay. Some of them are okay just sitting.
Okay, well, everybody's walk is different.
Everybody's walk is different, but I think that at some point in life, and it's so funny because me and Frankie was talking about this last night, because this grown woman that we know aspires to be a Fashion Nova model. And I'm like,
Fashion Nova is giving out checks.
I don't understand it.
Why?
Because I just feel like you ain't got nothing bigger than to shoot for $16.99. Like what?
But you're looking at it as you're wearing a $16.99 shirt, right?
Not really, because I've worn some Fashion Nova shit, but it's just like, that's your goal.
But Fashion Nova is across all media platforms right now, and just because you're wearing a cheaper piece of clothing, right? Mm-hmm. That check still signed.
It is.
That check still pay.
It is.
I mean, shit, look at, what's his name? Kendall. He went from talking shit in his living room to Hollywood to being the face of Fashion Nova Mail, getting to the bag. So is that really a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing. I guess I was just like...
It's Fashion Nova. Would you say that if they aspire, to be a Gucci model or a model for a big name African American company?
I think if it was a bigger name, it would sit.
How much more bigger do we need to be for Fashion Nova?
It's Fashion Nova.
Stand by. Let's see how many followers Fashion Nova has.
They got a lot, but I just feel like the most expensive thing they got on there is like $54.99. Like,
okay,
why do I just feel like I want my worth to be a little bit more than you see me on a Facebook ad.
Okay, but guess who else wear Fashion Nova?
I mean, a lot of people wear Fashion Nova. And I'm not, like, again, I say I wear it too, but it's just like
2.9 million followers.
I just feel like
Cardi B endorses Fashion Nova.
Who don't endorse Fashion Nova?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, they can't be a Fashion Nova
They
model?
can. I was just surprised. Like, that
Why?
shit just, I don't know. I just feel like Fashion Nova.
2.9 million followers. 2.9 million people are looking at me in my $16.99 shirt. You better get all my angles.
I guess I just would have felt better if she would have said she wanted to have her own.
Okay, well, maybe this is putting her in a position to have her own.
Maybe, but the way...
You gotta fake it till you make it.
The way it sounded was the end goal was Fashion Nova.
Okay.
I just see Fashion Nova is eventually dying out the same way Rainbow did.
Rainbow is very much still around.
It's still around, but it has died out a lot, especially with Fashion Nova.
But it's still pumping.
Rainbow?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
It's still pumping. I mean, there's a market for everybody.
And I mean, I get that. And Frankie absolutely said that. He was like, "There's nothing wrong with it." Like, he was like, "What? That's her goal." Like, everybody's goal is different. I get that. Not to say that mine is any better than anybody's, but I was just like,
you don't want a little bit more than that.
It just, I don't know.
So would it make you feel better if she said Target?
Target, no.
Yes, Target has models.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think I just associate Fashion Nova with low, cheap stuff. No, seriously, because, well, at least that's why I'll shop there, because if I need something for $40, I know I can get it from Fashion Nova. But I associate it with, like, cheap things. So, to me, when she said that, I'm like, why would you want to be associated with cheap things?
Well, you associating yourself with cheap things by wearing it. So you cheap.
When I'm desperate, yes, I will go there. But I don't know. It just shocked me.
Okay.
It shocked me, and especially because I know that person's background.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know, and it's just like, what?
Okay.
That's all you want?
Okay. So bear in mind that if you told them that, what was your reaction when they told you that?
No comment.
So
Because
that
I
would make
didn't want to
me
come across judgmental, and I really had to think about it. Like,
well, probably your facial expression probably showed if you all were face to face when this person
we
shared.
weren't.
Okay. By no comment is a comment. So in the event this person makes it to Fashion Nova and they then move on to something else, they might be a little leery of sharing their next move with you just because they didn't get any feedback the first time. So for me, that would be a bit of a turn off in the friendship. Like, damn, I can't even say I want to do Fashion Nova and you looking at me sideways? Okay. I'm going to be a little leery next time I want to share my good news with you or my dream with you because I feel like you might not be supporting me the way a genuine friend would.
Well,
that's me.
It's not that I'm not supporting. It's just I was just shocked.
Okay.
That was the end goal.
Okay.
That was it. And I don't want to come across judgmental. That's why I save my comments or even facial expressions. But it was just like, oh.
Okay.
Exactly.
Cool.
All right. So what's next? What is a flaw?
Internal or external?
Altogether. What is it?
Well, external. So I'll say for me, right? I have something that sometimes I will have a flare, and I'll get these blemishes on my face. To me, that's a flaw because whenever I meet someone for the first time, and if I have one of those dark spots or a couple dark spots on my face, it's like, damn, are they paying attention to me or are they paying attention to the blemish on my face or the blemish on my arm? And it has made me uncomfortable, but I had to learn to embrace it. And like, you know what? Flaw and all, your daddy still want me.
So do you explain that to them?
If they ask, I'll say, well, I have such and such.
Do you feel like they out of line for asking you?
No, not necessarily, because
Okay.
sometimes if it is dark enough, like it will peel.
Okay.
So, and I don't know. I won't feel it. So it's like, oh, you got something on your face. And I've had people do this, like, oh, you got something on your face, and go to.
They touch your face?
They try to.
Ew.
Yeah, they try to. And it's like, oh, no, don't worry about that. That's just because of whatever.
Okay, internal.
That could be something you struggle with mentally, and you just don't know how to let it go. Like, you don't know where to start. So an internal flaw for me would be always feeling like I have to fix this situation because it was brought to me. My flaw is not being always receptive to help. That has put me...
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? That has put me in positions where it's like, with my back against the wall, and it finally broke me, I really didn't have to let it break me because I could have got the help from this person, or I could have at least saw if this person could help me, or if this situation could have panned out better.
So like what you spoke about earlier in the show. So that's a flaw.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you, now that you know what it is, are you able to overcome it and beat it? Or?
I'm working on it because not everybody can help you with everything, and you have to know who you are relying on. Am I relying on you for genuine help, and I can trust that you're not going to speak about this situation at a later date, or are you doing this to help me so that then you can have some chatter with somebody else about, well, I helped Carmen with such and such.
But why would you even go to somebody like that?
Maybe I don't know you like that until it presents itself.
Okay. So what type of flaw is more detrimental to self, physical or emotional?
I would say emotional. Like, some physical things you can get past, like the scars will heal, but certain settings can trigger that emotional flaw, that damage, and you might not know how to rally from that. You're going to always carry that.
I think it's easier for me to deal with emotional flaw than a physical one, because I think a physical one, everybody can see it. It's out in the open. But if I'm suffering emotionally, I can kind of bottle that up. and I don't have to share that with the world.
I don't know about that one.
Really?
Because if people are around you enough, they can see that shift in your change, and they can see that shift in your body language and your mannerisms. So whereas you might not feel like you're telling anybody what's wrong with you, I can see it's something wrong with you.
I think I'm pretty good at hiding that kind of stuff. Because a lot of times I don't know. Like if I have an emotional flaw or scar, I don't know who I want to help. So I can hold my shit in pretty good. But I mean, to each his own. But for me, physical flaws are more detrimental, especially to like my own confidence or self-respect than an emotional one.
But you can put a filter over that physical flaw.
Not in real life. Not in real, like, I'm thick. I can't.
What were you getting ready to say before?
Fat, but I can't tell Donnell to make me a Coke bottle. I can't tell him to build me.
You
a body.
can. You could be the family size, the big leader. You can still be a Coke bottle. Bitch, I'm the big leader.
A 2-liter.
Hey, I'm feeding Minnie.
But I'm just saying, I can't tell him to fix that. Like, this is it. This is what you're going to see. But if I'm suffering emotionally, they can't see that. I can put a filter over that easier than I can my physical one. So that's why I say the physical is more detrimental for me.
What are you doing to change any physical flaw that you feel is detrimental to you? I had to focus so hard on that just now to say that. Without slipping over a word.
Nothing right now. I mean, like I said, I am who I am. My man like me the way I am, fluffy and all. So I ain't about to. That's not my focus right now. My physical. My focus right now is my emotional.
What kind of? It is your physical. You just talked about wanting to have better eating habits. That's a physical component.
I do. But then I was thinking, like, when she was saying that, like, I don't know if I can give up fried chicken.
Put it in the air fryer.
When I say my shit comes out horrible in the air fryer.
Well, I don't use the air fryer, so I don't know.
I cannot get that shit to work right. Nah. But, like I said, I'm a sucker for America's Best Wings.
So you going there after we wrap?
No, not today. I had some last night. I'm still kind of full.
Oh, okay.
But I'm probably not gonna stop going there. I might cut down, but I'ma still go there. But I think my physical fucks with me a little bit more than anything else.
Okay.
So are flaws determined by self or by the public?
Well, first I think they need to be determined by yourself. Like you have to know what is a flaw for you, and then you work on it from there. Now, the public can make you feel like you have more flaws than you actually do, being that you are looking to base yourself on what you see. So if I feel like, oh, this person's doing this and, you know, they're making all these strides, and then meanwhile, I'm not, that's a flaw. Because I'm now comparing myself to them. My struggle isn't your struggle. Your struggle isn't my struggle. Your hardship isn't mine. My hardship isn't yours. Again, being able to differentiate and distinguish what's for you.
For me personally, my flaws were called out by public before I knew what they were internally.
The racist thing?
No, not even a racist thing. Like even issues I've had as far as like judging people or what I expected from people or even how to move in certain relationships. I think those were called out by the public before I knew what they were. I've always lived in a space where I thought I was right about everything. Like, I really thought I had the answer to everything.
How did you get to that place where you just knew you were right about everything?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I just always thought I was right. It just made sense in my head. Like, it makes sense to move a certain type of way. But when people would say, well, do you see what happened when you moved this way? Or if you would have moved this way, this could have happened. It was like, oh shit, maybe I was wrong, or maybe I need to do a little self-check with me.
Is it hard for you to admit when you're wrong?
No, not now.
Is it hard for you to hear feedback when you have, projected certain things on the people, and it's like, well, you was doing some shit too?
It's not hard for me. I think the thing is, I feel like I have to explain myself, because I think that, people don't understand how I think or move. So I think I have to explain myself and be like, okay, well, if you think I did this for this, that's not why I did it. I did it for this, but I understand what you're saying. And I see the flawed thinking. Like, I see where I messed up, but I feel like I have to explain myself. But I can accept it.
Okay.
I welcome it, actually.
That's funny you say you welcome it, because a couple weeks ago when Pops was here and he was like, that's cool that y'all hold each other accountable and woo. And you was like, yeah, but I hate that shit.
It's hard to hear it when you're wrong. It's hard to hear it, but I do welcome it. Like, I want to know. Don't let me live my life wrong. Like, tell me. But, I mean, if I think I'm right and somebody call me out on my shit and be like, nah, you wrong. You fucked up for this, X, Y, and Z. It's like, oh, shit. It's a blow to my ego. But I get it.
But do you ever think about when you have those moments before the person calls you out, like, damn, would I be okay being treated this way?
I do.
And that doesn't make you want to go back and say, I need to do this differently. Like, if you're not okay with being treated how maybe you've treated others, and this is across the board, would that make you want to reconsider your movements?
I think that when I'm initially thinking about it, I don't see it. I see it my way. But if somebody brings it out to me and they like, no, but this is how it's received or this is how it's perceived, then I can say, oh, okay. But initially when I do it, it's never any ill will behind it.
Okay.
Well, most of the things. It's never any ill will. I still got a little petty in me.
We know. Okay. Well, you got a really good Ask the Dawn question.
So, I happen to be at work. Oh, shit. Sorry, Donnell. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I want to know what the question is.
Oh, okay. Show me. You're so cute.
I mean, the sleeves on this shirt kind of tight. So I need to make sure I don't bust a seam.
So I was at work, and one of my coworkers was watching the show. Shout out to her. I don't want to say her name because I don't want somebody to tell on her. But anyway, shout out to her. She was watching the show at work, and she was like, hey. So I don't know if it's her, so let me not say that. But I'm going to use my name, for example. So LaToya and Brian started dating when they were 15, right? So now they are 40. And so when they were 15, shit was all good. They young, immature, whatever. So she was like, the D was good. Real good.
How old are you? The dick?
Well, since I'm on TV now, my mama might watch me. Hey, Mom.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
So the dick was good. The sex was really, really good. And the sex is still really, really good.
The sex was really good at 15?
Well, I don't know when they started, but let's just say the sex is really good now.
Okay.
It's the best she ever had. But she has grown up. She's gone to college. She's gotten this degree. She's living her life. She's into stocks, investing, all of that. Like, she's about her business or about her bag. He, on the other hand, is kind of just riding her coattail.
Are they married or just in a long-standing relationship?
They're just in a long-standing relationship.
From 15 to 40?
Well, maybe not 40, 34.
Shit.
So
I think we done stood long enough.
They not married yet. And this is like part of the question. So they're not married yet. The sex, like she said, is the best she's ever had. They've taken breaks, and this is just the absolute best sex she's ever had. So he's kind of like random jobs here and there, but he's more so of the nigga that will sit in the house and play PlayStation.
Okay.
All day.
Sitting in her house playing
PlayStation. Sitting in her house playing PlayStation all day. He'll help towards the bills, but she's just like, I don't know.
I mean,
I said he got a random 9 to 5 here and there, and he doesn't have any kids. So that helps. He doesn't have any responsibility.
No, your household is a responsibility.
Yeah, but it's just them two. So, like, you ain't really got too much. You ain't got, like, clothes and shit like that, whatever. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, she wants to know. He doesn't seem to be goal-minded. Like, he doesn't have any end goals or whatever. Mm-hmm. But she feels, one, that she owes him some type of loyalty. Because they've been together so long, he's always taken her back when they've taken breaks. He's always had her back. Like, he's really supportive.
So he's emotionally supportive to her.
He's emotionally supportive.
Okay.
Physically, he's meeting all her needs, but mentally, she's just not being stimulated. And she said that, like, her family would say, well, you know, men mature a little slower than women. Mm-hmm. So she's like, when do you throw in the towel?
I probably would have burned the towel by now.
Why?
So for me, right, I do want someone that I can be evenly yoked with. Mm-hmm. But I'm not in a place where now in my mid-30s where I'm able to just continue to coach and push you. Mm-hmm. But before we got to this point, what have I done to encourage you? What dreams were you focused on? Mm-hmm. Do you have any dreams? Mm-hmm. Because at 15 to 34, I'm pretty sure I can find some mediocre dick in a man that's more focused. Because sex not paying the bills. Sex is not helping me attain my goals. And nigga, where you get the PlayStation from? Where you get the snacks from? Yeah, I got a big ass kid in my house. I'm not into that. You either we have to go or you have to go. And if we're gonna go, we're gonna go places together. And if you're gonna go back to your mama's house or whoever house she was at when we was broke up. No, we not.
I mean, I think that's the easy answer, but I just feel like, so I know a lot of people in the dating field or whatever, and they're not getting the emotional support that they need. And I think that women are emotional beings. So I don't think she should carry him, but it has to be some type of way that she can help motivate him. Like, she's just like, well, he should see what I'm doing and want to do better.
Maybe he don't want to do that. And emotional support, go ahead, throw that reverse in there, doesn't just stop with him. It doesn't stop with him. She didn't not say, I don't want you to attain these things, I'm assuming. But what are you doing to show him, like, this is what I need? Because if all you're doing is giving him good sex or he giving you good sex, that's the premise of your relationship.
Well, it's a little bit more than good sex. She's just saying that's a really big benefit of it is the sex. Like, that's kind of what she's holding on to. But she said emotionally, like, he's a really good man, but he ain't got nothing up here. The only head she can rely on is the one between his legs. I'm serious, like, her words.
Well, she need to ask herself, what's it worth?
That's what I said.
Don't keep coming to me with the same story. I don't want to hear that.
But I asked her, I was like, well, what are you doing to help motivate him? And she was just like, nothing. He should just see it. And she said he comes from, like, his surroundings, they kind of just stayed on the system, just coasted through life. So that's what he knows. But she's just like, he should want more.
So what do you say to that?
I think she should try to motivate him. I think she should make sure she's making her expectations really clear to him and give him a chance. Like, she hasn't told him, you really need to do something with yourself besides these random ass jobs. Because she said if she tell him get a job, he'll go get a job. But he'll stay on it until they comfortable and then be like, I'm tired of this.
Well, she sounds like she's a bit enabling. I got to tell you, go get a job. Like,
I agree.
I'm not about to take you serious, and I know I can work and get a couple paychecks and then quit, and you still going to take care of the house.
Right,
I'm not doing that.
Right. I agree.
So while she's looking at him, she needs to take a deeper look at herself.
I agree.
She needs to look at the role she's playing. Oftentimes, we as women love to say, it's the man isn't doing this, the man isn't doing that. Okay, well, what are you as a woman doing to contribute to what the man is not doing?
I agree.
I guarantee you're going to see a whole different picture.
I agree. And I think she needs to be careful if she decides to throw in the towel she needs to reevaluate herself because she don't want to attract that same type of person. Because I know a lot of people that are dating, they attract the same type of person. And it's like, they're like, well, it got to be me. Well, it's you, but like, look at what you're doing or saying or whatever to attract the same type of person. The person is really a loser. But, I mean, not that person in that situation, but I do know people that have dated a couple losers, and it's just like, yeah, it's easy to say you're the common denominator, but you are, but you aren't.
Okay.
That's my yes or my no. Okay. But before we end, I have to thank everybody that tagged us in that Shade Room post. Like, that was so dope for people to think of us. So the Shade Room posted tagged some podcasts that people should listen to or some hot podcasts. And we had a few people tag us, and we really, really appreciate it.
We do.
And we still getting a lot of good reviews, a lot of good feedback from people. So we appreciate that and continue to subscribe, rate, and review.
Yes. But before we close out, a couple things. Ma'am. Ladies, when we bring men on our show and we have acknowledged that they are in relationships, do not slide in my messages and ask, hey, what's up with your bro? What's up with your friend? What's up with him is that he's in a relationship. My God. I don't want to. Don't ask me like, oh, you think he a cheat. I don't think shit. I think he's in a relationship. Okay? I don't want to hear, hey, slide on my number. What's his number? Oh, do he sell clothes? No, bitch. You trying to buy some clothes so you can get in. And I'm not going to stop his flow. But no. I know what you're trying to do. There will not be any.
So funny to me.
There will be no horseships on this watch.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
We've had a few. Come on.
Yeah.
They are in loving, committed. Say it with me. Yeah. Committed relationships. Yeah. Leave them alone.
Yeah, I've had a couple.
And
questions.
my last thing, real quick. Who told y'all niggas it was acceptable to be begging through the inbox?
Please stop. I put y'all on mute. So if you still in my inbox asking for $5 for you and your family, I don't have it. Stop that. That's just not it. Stop that.
I think people think that now because, we famous. We'll just say that, right?
That's fine.
We are local
don't
celebrities.
Me for no fucking
I think
money.
they really think that, we have this abundance of money. No, nigga.
Plethora. Don't anybody ask you to put that shit in?
Donnell been paying attention. A what?
Plethora. Go ahead, finish.
I don't know if I can. Anyway, y'all, you have to stop begging through the inbox. If you need help, there are other ways to go about it. There are other resources. But you got a whole spiel, and if I hit my co-host head, I'm like, hey, you see this? She damn near has the same script, or other people have the same script, and for me, that's a problem, because now you just shooting your shot anywhere.
And I get the same script every 2-3 months.
Yeah, like they disappear and come back with a new Facebook page or
and
a
when
new
they
Instagram.
but when they disappear, I be seeing them on Facebook and Instagram, living their best fucking life. And nigga, you don't look like you missing a meal. I may be doing you a favor. Seriously, that shit irritate me.
Well,
that whole GoFundMe, we might have to have a show on that. Y'all gotta stop that shit.
It's more like go steal from me. Y'all use GoFundMe for all the wrong reasons. And begging through the Cash App. Somebody said that was a modern day way of selling pussy.
Oh, begging through the Cash App?
Posting your Cash App and telling them, drop them names, whatever. But that's that.
So that's how you closing?
Oh, no. Shout out to AP for my Live Fresh shirt.
Oh, I ain't got no black people's clothes on today.
Look at that.
We out.
You ain't no black people clothes on today?
I mean, no, I gotta work on my fucking lingo.
You do. What's up with you?
I don't know.
Language fucked up.
I be talking to kids.
I talk to kids too, and my kids don't talk back.
Nasty.
You talk like you had 2 teachers in your class.
Bitch, I was in tag.
You sure? You talking?
Talented and gifted.
Okay. Plethora.
Where
you get that from?
Bitch, no, it wasn't.
It was.
It was the word that we tried to use for separate.
Differentiate.
Was it differentiate? You're right.
That's a few syllables.
Differentiate.
Don't worry. Those SU words get me all the time. Shit sound like I'm whistling.
I gotta look at my green and yellow light.
Oh, your pacing board.
Yes. Differentiate. Mm-hmm. I saw a yellow light.
You knew to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, look at your friend teaching you something.
Ew.
That was a good blooper down there. You should have kept the camera rolling.
What? For differentiate?
You fucked that word up.
I did a couple times. Damn.